Hello, in this video I would like to talk about the King Biscuit and specifically about his patronage skill Staying Chill. In my first video overview of the King Biscuit, I mentioned that his patronage skill reduces the healing received by enemy, and this skill of his is considered a negative effect. Negative effects are removed by Sebastian, and Sebastian is very popular hero in the game, which makes Biscuit a less powerful pet. However, in certain cases, if we combine this patronage skill with control heroes, which apply negative effects of their own, then it may help us to destroy the shield of Sebastian, and in some cases it can help us to destroy this shield very fast. If we want to use King Biscuit this way, then we should find a good patron for him. So in theory, the patron should deal splash damage. Why do we need a splash damage? Because if a hero attacks just one hero in the team of opponent, then it takes only 1 point from the shield of Sebastian. If it attacks all 5 heroes, which is a splash damage, then he removes 5 points from the shield of Sebastian in one attack. Let's take a look at the patronage, and let's look at the heroes where we can use King Biscuit. So the splash damagers are Heidi, Satori. Aurora deals splash damage. Lian, she attacks the front line. However, she deals periodic damage, so when she makes her attacks, she may take many points even though she attacks only a few heroes. Celeste, she attacks front line, and when the cursed flame is on the field, and if at the same time the healing happening, then she deals splash damage. So under some conditions she can do splash damage. Helios attacks the front line. Astaroth only first hero. Faceless sometimes, yeah, some skill of his can do the splash damage. For example, when he throws the opponent back, others don't. Orion splash damage. Rufus, he attacks the hero with just one hero with max attack. Maya, she deals both splash damage and periodic damage, so she's a very good candidate for the patronage. Cornelius, single damager. Phobos, single. Lilith, splash damage. Chaba, single damage. Lars, splash damage. Krista, she deals sort of splash damage but only under certain conditions. So when she deploys her ice thorns, she doesn't make the damage right away. However, if opponents walk through this, then it's a splash damage. So not exactly what we want, but under some conditions. Mojo, no, and he's not popular here in general. Well, Galahad, yeah, he can do splash damage. Kai, yes. Luther, yes, he can do splash damage. Peppy, frontline. Elvanor, frontline. Ziri, just bad tank. Judge another not popular hero. And Cleaver, he basically attacks the front line. However, he deals periodic damage. He deals per damage, which is a periodic damage. And if he brings the backline up front, then he may attack more than a few heroes at the same time. So he's a potential patron. Alright. Now let's see how it works in reality, just to give you an example. So for example, we have a team like this with Sebastian, and our target is to remove his shield, just to see how it works. So let's put, for example, Biscuit on Aurora, and let's make it like this. So Aurora, she deals splash damage with her primary ability, and also when she reflects when her shield explodes. So let's see if it will help us. Okay, so Sebastian creates the shield. Let's put on auto. And let's see if Aurora will be able to remove it alone. So you can see that it's about half, and Sebastian ultimates, and she has to start from scratch. It would be slightly different probably if a team of opponents would have physical damager, so that Aurora ultimates get charged and ultimates more often, or if team of opponent would have magic damage, so that the shield of Aurora filled up fast. Now let's take a look at other tank. So in theory, tanks should be good for this purpose because they're on the front line, they're charged fast, and if if they deal splash damage with their ultimate ability, then it's a good case, because they usually ultimate often by taking damage. So let's see at Corvus. So with Corvus, situation is a little bit different because he doesn't make splash damage with his ultimate ability. However, his third ability, the Altar of Power, okay, let's put on auto. It deals per damage each time when he is attacked, and you can see that the shield disappeared very fast as long as the Altar of Power was up. So the Altar of Power, it's time independent. I think it appears on the field on the 10th second. So we have good candidates. Now let's try Maya. And we need someone on the backline. Okay, and you can see that okay, we need to let's use Axel as a pet so that our weak heroes don't die that fast. Alright. Okay, perfect. Okay, here we go. The marks and Sebastian sing his song, and you can see that with per damage shield is removed very fast. So Maya, she deals splash damage, she damages all the heroes in the team of opponent, and in addition she makes it periodically, which gives us a very good weapon against Sebastian. If in this case she's on the front line, so she's charged fast, and it's also an important factor. If she plays in the middle of the team, the timing will be different. Now let's see Satori. Satori deals splash damage with his basic attack, and Sebastian is his main enemy. Okay, so he managed to remove about 80% of the shield. Not so great. Now let's check Orion. Okay, so the shield is there. And it's almost down, yeah. The shield is removed. Right before the ultimate of the Sebastian. Unfortunately I cannot show you Lars, but the principle is the same. So when do we need to remove the shield of Sebastian? It's very important for some damagers, for example for Satori, who cannot do any damage if his fire marks are removed by Sebastian. It can be useful for Lars and Krista because Sebastian removes control effects of the Lars, and he removes watermarks of both Lars and Krista, which reduces their damage. And it can be very important for control teams in general. So if you play with these heroes, then you definitely should consider using Biscuit against Sebastian. Okay, now I prepared a few test battle, and let's look how it works in the field. In this example we have Biscuit on Aurora, plus we have two additional control heroes who should help us to remove the shield of Sebastian even faster. Here we go. The shield is on the field. Aurora hits and distribution from Axel plus control from Lian. And here we go, the car is already down. Another ultimate and the shield is disappearing again. Second ultimate and the fight is almost over. I tested different combination without Biscuit on Aurora, and an outcome is sort of random. With Biscuit on Aurora the shield is removed much faster and this combination works more reliable. You can see that Satori makes most of the damage despite Sebastian in the team of opponent. Here we have Biscuit, we have Mara on Isaac, here Axel, Fenris, Axel. On the left side we have control only team with Biscuit on Maya. Maya deals splash damage, which should help us to burn the shield of Sebastian very fast. The secondary role of Maya here is to change the order of the opponent's team. You can see that she brings Martha forward and other heroes from the back line to the front line. It helps Arachne to stun more heroes by extending her area of effect, and it also reduces healing of Martha. And you can see that the car is down. Notice that Andvari is at low health. This is because of the heavy magic damage. So let's see what we have in the stats. So Isaac dealt most of the damage on our side, and here it's mostly magic damage from Aurora and Celeste. Pets Axel on Lian, Oliver on Andvari, Biscuit on Maya, and Mara on Arachne. To summarize, King Biscuit can be useful for control-based teams. In order to use his patronage skill, you need to bring him to the violet ranking, and it's enough to have him at 1 star if you use him only to remove the shield of Sebastian. When you use him, you should measure the trade-offs of using him versus different pets. If you put him on the tank, you either lose defense, like for example instead of Oliver, or you lose damage, like for example instead of Kain for Aurora. And the same trade-off with damagers. If you put him on Heidi or Satori, then you lose damage which you would get otherwise with different pets. So whenever you use him, you always should measure what's more important for you in this specific fight. If you like this video, then please consider subscribing, and if you have a feedback, please write the comments. Thank you, and see you in the game.